everybody. It's Ethan McKinley, and welcome to Outer Space. The terrified voice in the background isn't Lambert, played by Veronica Cartwright. It's Ellie, played by Ellie, the co-host.
Hi.
Today's bumpy music is, of course, Jerry Goldsmith's score to Alien. Much was stolen, of course, from his previous score to Freud, because they temp-tracked the movie while editing it with Freud music and then didn't want his kind of optimistic Star Trek sounding score for the rest of their movie, so they threw it out. However, we're not here to talk about Alien. We're here to talk about another sci-fi franchise. We're here to talk about Terminator. And even better than that, we're here to talk about the best Terminator film in the franchise, Terminator Salvation. Yeah.
Said no one ever.
It's episode 30. We're going from minutes 54 to 56, the 2 minutes bridging that gap, or the 1 minute 51 seconds bridging that gap. And it starts with John Connor, of course, looking at the wreck of the HK.
Ethan.
Yes?
Hit the music.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Yes, as Jerry Goldsmith's dulcet tones bring us into the second half of the show, bit being the bit after the start of the credits. We're talking about Terminator. Terminator Salvation, to be exact. We're at minutes 54 to 56. And it starts... Well, the bookends, as you already know, is John Connor currying the favour of a flying HK. They then use a signal interrupter, which crashes the HK, knowing that can actually save the planet, or at least fight Skynet. And it ends with an evil zombie-like rubber-faced T-600 killing a man trying to escape the culling of the people in the Terminator concentration camp. That was a long-winded way of saying a Terminator shoots someone. It starts with John Connor calling a HK towards him.
Come hither, HK. Come hither. To prayer. Sorry. Yes. I still can't get over, and I mentioned it in the last episode, but even more so in this particular episode, I can't believe for 1 second that Skynet wouldn't have some kind of surveillance. So they've managed to get this piece of machinery into this valley of death or whatever that sends out this signal.
Well, they've driven into the valley of death because they've driven in with a car, so they're already, like, even more so making noise.
Exactly.
They haven't just walked in.
So they've driven in, they've set up this equipment, they've exploded a couple of cars. The HK then comes over. He's beckoning him over. Common turns up the signal to make it stronger.
As it comes closer, which disrupts the signal and just makes them go haywire and crash. So if they can use this on this machine, it should work on all Terminators and all Skynet's equipment. At least the frequency with which all the Terminator themselves operate, be it the Snake Terminator, the HK, the Flying HK.
Where did they find this technology? Why did they get this? Well, how did they make it?
Well, they developed it when they captured the Snake Terminator.
Right, but...
They knew it ran on a certain frequency which connects it back to Skynet. If they can interrupt that signal, they kind of break that connection. They go, "What am I doing? I think I might want to be vegan." And then they just crash.
Exactly. My slight struggle with this was... What this is saying is that humans really are more technically advanced than Skynet.
No, not at all.
Well, if they've managed to find some way of shutting down and literally switching off, or basically they've made their own switch off button, haven't they?
Kind of, but this is what war is.
That's pretty damn smart. And look at, considering their access to equipment, the things that they're using, it's all been from whatever was left from the big explosions and when Judgment Day happened. And I don't know. I just think that this particular kind of technology seems incredibly advanced, considering they are humans.
It's not advanced. Well, I mean, you could argue that Skynet is digital technology and they're using analog, because all their stuff is like old stuff off, like it's all like radar and this and that. And I guess the military still uses that, but they must be using something more advanced. Skynet certainly, I guess, would be more advanced to a point. But this is what war is, isn't it? You kind of have these little victories over like a larger. You know, you win small battles within the war, don't you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So they've just found a new angle with which to battle Skynet, and then I guess once Skynet becomes wise to this, I mean, you would assume...
Oh, low flying pigeon.
Well, no, when they first captured the Snake Terminator and it's on the operating table, that being a functioning Terminator, even though you got it strapped down, wouldn't that be sending signals back to Skynet of its location, where it is, and etc.?
That's another thing.
And then when they dial it down to kind of like make it docile again and turn it back up again, Skynet would go, we just had a Terminator around all the people, where all the people are. They just turn the signal off, then back on again. So they've got some way of disrupting my signal. Would it not then upload or kind of, not download, update the software in a sense that, you know, it would be able to battle that? Because it's just happened to an HK. I would have thought by the time they actually got to their mission to Skynet Central to rescue all these prisoners before Michael Ironside's General Ashdown bombs the shit out of the place. I've got more energy on this episode. I like it.
Okay. Don't run out of steam now.
No, I think, I think Skynet would have been more than equipped at that point. Any kind of operating system would have updated itself, would it not?
To add to that point, when the water Terminator was being, tested, that would then have given Skynet that would have given Skynet the location of their headquarters.
I know.
So they would just go, right, we know exactly where they are. We know where they're developing all this
You know what
technology.
I like
We're just going to bomb them.
What I like about this podcast is I say something, and then 5 minutes later you say exactly what I said, but your version of it, as if it's...
Because I don't listen to you.
You don't listen to me, do you?
No, I do.
I said they turn that Snake Terminator on. He goes, oh my god, humans. And they turn it off again. Then turn it, and it would obviously, if it's connected to Skynet by this invisible communication, I would have thought Skynet would go, oh, they're there, or at least, oh, they're up to something. Oh, they've turned me off, and then they turn me back on again.
Yeah, but for me,
Hello,
it's more
Smithers,
the
you're
location,
quite good
really.
at turning me on.
What do you know? You're just a robot.
Michael Ironside, trivia fans, of course. You'll all recognise him if you're a fan of any kind of sci-fi or horror. He's from Scanners, Top Gun. Many of you wouldn't be remembering him from Top Gun. Of course, he plays, to connect it to Terminator, he plays Arnold's nemesis. What's his name?
Shit.
Richter.
See you at the party, Richter.
Michael Ironside is his foil kind of in Total Recall, which of course Arnold played Terminator in Terminator 1, 2, 3 and Genesis.
That would really hurt having your arms just...
You've got some issues with Michael Ironside in this, haven't you? Because he's kind of callous. He asks Connor to test his theory. He risks life and limb to go into like the barren, deadly wastelands just outside Skynet, kind of like the hills of Mordor, the mountains of Mordor. They test his theory. They crash an HK with this kind of signal disruptor, and then it says, "Did it work?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna bomb them anyway." So, do you think? Well, he doesn't like John Connor very much, does he? I don't think.
Well, I can understand for someone in his position, you don't want like a rogue
element.
Yeah.
Questioning your authority.
You just want people to do what you're gonna say they're
You're
gonna
pottering
do.
around in your submarine. He just dives into
you
the
with your
sea.
ideas and your
prophecy bullshit.
Yeah, and your mum and your Terminators and your bullshit bailments.
Your Chewbacca mullet you keep in that display cabinet.
Wow, do you reckon they scalped Sarah?
Do you think a bit like the company in Alien? Do you think Michael Ironside thought, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who gives a fuck? We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But this might be a way of getting rid of John Connor.
Ooh, I like that.
We'll send him into like the mouth of hell.
Decoys, Lois. Decoys.
Well, maybe, yeah. He send him into like the belly of the beast, if you will, and
Get
then
him out of the way.
Yeah, and if he survives, I guess okay, fine. If he does survive, it means this technology's work. We can use it at some other point in the future. But I think plans have already been made to kind of. Well, he just says this is war, Connor. So he's essentially the people dying in this concentration camp, not just the ones we follow in the film, but I'm sure there's millions or thousands at least. It's collateral damage.
The death of millions is just a statistic. A question that I had: when that explosion, when they explode the cars,
Star Trek, by the way.
To bring
Star Trek.
What about it?
Maybe that's what we should watch tonight. watch the Star Trek
I love
movies.
how you just throw that out there without giving me any clue as to where you're going with this conversation.
Because
Star
the other
Trek.
day, by the way, apologies
Trek.
listeners, because we started with the Star Trek music, and I was like, oh, it says 1V here. That means it's 4. Oh no, I thought it's 5.
No.
It was 4 that night. The day before wasn't 5. It was Star
6.
Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. We haven't even done 5 yet. So sorry, I got all 3 of them wrong. But now that's in my mind, Ellie, maybe we should watch Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Why?
The first one with Spock.
Oh, I've seen those.
You've
The-
seen
the old
Rathacon.
ones.
You've not seen the 4th one, though, have you? Not seen Star Trek 4. You've not seen The Search for Spock.
I've seen The Search for Spock.
What happens in The Search for Spock? We'll come back to Terminator
Well,
in a
he's
minute.
on this planet.
Right.
I've seen it.
They're all on planets. It's sci-fi.
To be fair, it was years ago, but I have seen The Search
Spock.
for Spock. Okay, we'll watch Star Trek. I just wanted
All
to watch
right,
it.
we'll jump to Star Trek 4 then.
Okay. I did. Some
That's the one most people like. That's even if you're a non-Star Trek fan, you can watch that with a chick who's not into sci-fi or anything. It's just a good film.
Sorry, I just did a really weird teddy bear roll. Yeah, so my one of my questions that I wanted to bring up in this particular episode, when John Connor shoots the cars and explodes them, thus bringing the HK over to their attention, just the one HK arrives.
The one.
I would have thought with something like that there may be some backup. Because then obviously the signal then gets turned up, so the HK then gets taken offline.
Yep.
Still no backup. Again, it comes back to that point you made earlier. Would Skynet not have noticed that all of a sudden one of their HKs has just gone offline?
Yeah, totally.
And then all of a sudden it's exploded. There's no backup. There's no... I mean, if this is kind of Skynet's area, I'd have thought there'd be HKs everywhere.
Yeah, and also a bit like you said, marionette puppets. It would be connected to kind of the motherboard, if you will. So yeah, for the first time in the Terminator films, Ellie, they actually kind of try and recapture, even though it doesn't look very 1980s, the future war aspect of this when it's raining and sleeting and it's dark and awful. When they kind of get shoved out of these HKs and they start landing, that's quite a successful sequence. It's a shame they didn't do more of it because they've chosen this kind of like brown, muddy palette for this film, haven't they? The look of the film.
It's very actually it's kind of like keeping with the music. It's very kind of
Down the mic.
Alien 3.
Well, the look of this.
Because that was very brown.
Well, you
very
need
kind
to.
of
I think you need to watch the
brassy.
Alien 3 director's cut, don't you? You've not seen that.
Oh no, I haven't.
Where you see the planet at the start,
No, I haven't seen
and they
that.
find her and they pull her out of the ship. There's like an extra 20 minutes in it, I think. It's a much better film.
Oh yeah, because there's a different, isn't it? The alien comes out of a cow instead of the dog.
In
Actually, isn't there loads of different endings for Aliens 3?
no, there's only a happy ending. No, basically the studio
Stop
interfered.
saying basically.
That's the first time I said it.
I know.
I said it in a sense twice though, and if you will, once.
It's really funny. I pointed at you and you looked at the floor like you've been really bad. Like a dog.
No, David Fincher had tremendous trouble because it was his first kind of proper film. He'd done like music videos like the Rolling Stones' Love Is Strong, one of my favourite songs. Great
Love
video.
Strong. Yeah, that was a good tune.
And he gets Alien 3. He's done Madonna videos and stuff, but the studio don't trust him, so they interfere constantly and kind of like keep like... Basically, he won't do a commentary. He won't ever talk about Alien 3 in interviews. He hates 20th Century Fox. I don't think he's made a film with the studio since. He hates them that much. But yeah, the cinematic version that went to the theatres, it comes out of a Rottweiler. In the not director's cut, the kind of studio assembly version that the studios put together with all the bits of footage, it starts with Charles Dance finding the ship. You see the beaches of the planet and stuff with all the kind of mining equipment. He runs into the prison carrying her and stuff. There's a lot more things. There's a bit where they kind of like, they think the alien is like the devil. And all the religious people, all the super nutty religious monks, or the prisoners rather, think the alien is a demon. They trap the alien finally in that kind of like, what is it called? Radioactive waste room.
Oh, yeah.
And then Paul McGann's character lets him out again. So there's loads of stuff like that. It's a much better, it makes more sense, the film does. And you see the Queen face hugger and stuff with that weird like clear webbing in between her knuckles on the thing.
Would you take my sweet hand of holy matrimony.
So yeah, no, it's a better film.
Okay, I'll believe you. Although I think it's the weakest of all of them, including 4. I don't think 4 is as bad as you say it is.
You need to rewatch 4.
Okay, I will.
Alien 3 is a really good film. It just doesn't end the way people want him to. They made a mistake of not carrying on. Turn it down, Jerry Goldsmith. They made the mistake. They made the mistake of not carrying on the story from Aliens, and then just threw it out the window in favor of one alien, which is fine. But it was just weird. It was such a right turn. Hicks and Newt are killed in the credits. They didn't even have the dignity of putting them in the story before they get killed. So it's kind of like it was a slap in the face to all that had gone before in Aliens. So yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. But the look of the film and the score's brilliant. I think the score to Alien 3 is better than Aliens.
Up to this point, I don't know why John Connor gives a fuck about all these people.
Well, because that's the difference between him and Ironside, isn't it? Ironside represents the kind of military side that has kind of like survived the war.
Because he's like, what's the evacuation strategy?
And he's like,
there is none. You should know this, John.
But in classic film, this is like a sin against Michael Ironside now. He will die at some point in the film. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
The same way, you know, teenagers in horror films that have sex always die because he's acted like a callous person with no empathy.
He's going to pay for it. Karma's going to get him.
Movie karma will get him.
Yeah.
And because John Connor is the more caring for people leader. I don't know, it doesn't really come across in this, though. You don't get the sense.
He's a very military man. He doesn't...
Not military, just doesn't come across as a very likeable character.
No.
Maybe that's just Christian Bale, though, because we're not Christian's biggest fan, are we?
I hate him.
And you can hear... Well, no, he's 3 years into it now.
To the point where I couldn't even watch Reign of Fire, even though it's got dragons in it.
This is after The Dark Knight Returns. No, The Dark Knight. So the sequel to Batman Begins. So he's well into his Batman voice phase. And when he shouts in this, you can kind of hear, "Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?" You can hear the kind of Bale Batman voice creeping in as well.
Why did they ever make him Batman?
Because of American Psycho, I think.
What? Okay,
Well,
where's the correlation between those two?
Because
I think that's the only film I've actually really, really liked him in.
I'm assuming that's because
Patrick Bateman, amazing.
he was playing a kind of corporate type character, but with a hidden agenda, or was hiding something, or a dual identity. I'm assuming that's why they gave him Batman Begins.
Yeah, but he was psychotic and he was crazy. He was a murderer.
But that you could argue Batman is that, isn't
Yeah, but he does it for the good.
Yeah, but dressing up as a bat and hanging around with a teenage boy that fights crime, it's very suspect. Doesn't look good on paper, does it, Mr.
Sounds
Wayne?
like you.
Mr. Wayne.
You hang around with a teenage boy.
No one knew I was until I put on the mask. I started doing jokes, Mr. Wayne.
Good use of props there.
Yes, if you want to learn how to do Bane, just do Sean Connery into a mug.
Sean Connery into a... You are a mug. I thought...
Sometimes women have the last laugh, so you have to hit them.
You totally fucked that up.
I know.
Just
The spoon was sticking in me.
Yeah, it's the spoon's fault. Spoon me. We then see... So we've seen the HK go offline. They explode it. Ironside says, "Sweet, that's awesome."
Ironside? What, the guy in the wheelchair, the lawyer?
Yep. Ironside is... he's wheeling around and he's shouting the orders. And then we go to the people catcher again. And we see young Carl Reese. And they're all going to be issued into this, I guess, human... What would you even call that?
They're like the fattening pens or whatever they
look like some,
like abattoir.
Yeah, it looks like an abattoir.
But it's meant to be like Auschwitz. That's why they're all being like herded into that thing and they're being watched from above.
But we see old Mother Earth again.
Yeah.
I thought she got murked.
No, she got picked up by the kind of like the Bigfoot basket hand.
Yeah, no, I genuinely thought she got murked. And also, if she had, and that thing had like grabbed her in the way it did, she's a really old woman. That would have broken her neck.
Oh yeah, totally.
I can't imagine she's got much milk.
It's also when those hands slam down on Marcus Wright when he's hacking away at the kind of people carrier with that axe, and he gets slammed onto the roof and he's going, "Pah." Oh yeah, no one would survive that.
No.
Just the whiplash effect of being like grabbed, apart from the debris falling from the roof as it punches through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd be toast.
She'd be out there.
But she's fine. She's a movie Earth Mother.
This particular bit as well, where you see them in that kind of crate and they're really wet. It reminded me of the first episode of the second series of League of Gentlemen, when Papa Lazarus steals all those women and they put them in that cage and then they just fucking
hose them down.
It was amazing. As soon as I saw that, it just took me back to League of Gentlemen. I love that. Women hate getting wet. Like you go.
Girls that work at Hooters don't.
Oh yeah, but they're a special breed. We salute you, girls. I'd love a Hooters top.
You need to be able to fill it.
Yeah, that's true. Next year. Next year.
No, they still won't employ you at Hooters next year.
Why?
Because you need to be able to fill it.
Why can't I fill it next year?
Well, you don't have the equipment.
Well, I want to get the equipment. That's the whole point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You need to start researching that stuff.
Dude, I've been doing that for like the last few days. When you were doing whatever you were doing yesterday.
I'm sorry, I just don't believe you.
I was looking at there's this new technology. It's called gummy bear implants. And what it is it's like
it's actual gummy bears.
yeah.
It's a pick and mix bag of gummy bears. Someone
And
who
they
play,
just
they
shove
got
them in.
lumpy tits.
Basically, what it does is it's the most natural looking one. So implants now, it's almost like a one size fits all, and they're just kind of round and they're stuck on. These ones,
I like that look though.
There's a gradual, so it looks natural. So you get like the sweep.
No, they're called teardrop shaped implants.
No, these are completely different than you. Trust me.
Why are they called gummy bear?
I don't know, because of the texture maybe. I'm not sure.
The texture of what? A gummy bear? The shape of a bear then?
I don't know.
You gave it.
Ask a question.
They're just giant gummy bears, aren't they?
Yeah, basically. Just shove some gelatin in there.
Dr. Hannibal will see you now.
I have been looking into it.
All I do, I've got
question.
gummy bear tits and I eat pom bear. I'm really into bears.
So I will go to Hooters, Ethan. Anyway, they're all the points. Oh no, there's one more point that I wanted to make. So when we saw this signal equipment being used before with the underwater Terminator,
Yeah.
wasn't it connected to the machine?
What, via a wire?
I swear it was connected somehow.
No, they were doing something with the signal. It was like an audio radio signal thing.
Okay, so what kind of radius are they working on? And how would they know what kind of radius they would need to be within to actually make that thing work?
Well, they don't know. That's why they do this. They turn the signal on when the HK starts approaching them in this 2 minutes. And when it gets within about 50 feet of them, it just... they mention it in the thing. He's like, oh, it's so many feet.
Okay.
Now, I'm sure if they know this, they can develop it further to boost it even more to kind of like... get that to happen.
But if Skynet was really as amazing as they say it is, they would already be working on the technology to overcome that. But yeah, they were all the points that I had on this particular 2 minutes. Are there any cock-ups?
No. I just had my trivia that Michael Ironside, of course, is connected to the Terminator franchise, and the fact, apart from being in this as General Ashdown, he plays Arnold's nemesis in Total Recall.
Okay, well then...
What do you like Total Recall, Ellie?
I love Total Recall. I think it's great.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are your favourite Arnold films?
My favourite Arnold films.
Your top three.
Top three.
In
okay.
order.
Oh,
so number one.
Oh God. I want to say Twins.
Why?
Dude, Twins just rocked my world. I never thought I would like it. I thought, no, Arnold doing silly slapstick cheesy comedy. No, not gonna feel it at all. Watched it a little while ago and I was like, oh my God, I love it even more.
I travelled halfway around the world,
think
but
it's-
actually it was a day.
I think it's the innocence mixed with the fact that he is
He's
such
Brute
a
Machismo.
brute man, full on
Yak, don't talk back.
take out the papers and the trash.
So there you have it,
Born to be
folks.
Bad.
Twins is in our top three Arnold films. Do we even bother asking what the other two are? Raw Deal.
Terminator
and,
2,
Conan the Destroyer.
Terminator 2, and Predator.
And Junior.
No.
Why Predator? I think you're a fan of Predator.
Who are you?
No, because I put a bit of
Not
it
at
on
all.
this. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Predator's okay. I was like, really?
I didn't say that. Yes, I like Predator. What did you mean to do? Do a backflip?
The only thing I regret is Shane Black was trying to, and he's still talking about doing it. He's been talking about doing it. This is Shane Black, of course, the writer of Lethal Weapon, The Last Boy Scout, Lethal Weapon 2.
Damn, you got a big pussy.
He was brought on to do script editing as they were filming, and they said, we'll give you a little acting part in it. He, of course, plays Hawkins, the guy with the glasses, the first guy that's killed by the Terminator. He's now writing and directing the new Predator 4, even though it's going to slightly ignore events of Predator 3. It's going to fall in the continuity set after Predator 2 and between Predators. So that's a polite way of saying that doesn't exist. But he said he wants to make it. He wants to bring back the scariness and the mystery that you would have. I think Prometheus was a bad example, but he said Aliens kind of has more. They kind of spend they spend more time and money on the mythos of Aliens to give it that like lore and stuff. And he says Predator doesn't really have that. They just immediately went into these like gadget laden.
I think that's why I like Aliens so
lizard
much.
man from space, like hunting
scary.
people.
Even now when I watch it, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Well, he wants to make Predator scary again. He said he wants the mystery of Predator 1 when you don't know what's actually happening. He wants to elevate the Predator franchise as high as the Alien franchise by giving it that kind of like mystique and mystery and tension, the same way you didn't know where it was going to strike and stuff. So I think that's probably the right thing to do.
He wants, but does he gets?
And he said that they're going to spend like real giant box office big budget money on, because I think most of the Predator sequels after Predator 2, I think Predator 2's box office was 36 million, and I think its budget was only 30 million, so it didn't really make that much of a splash.
It's probably because it's not that good.
Predator 1 was 18 million, and it did 130 million at the box office. And I think all the Alien versus Predator films, I think they're about 60 million range, so they're not very big budget. Alien versus Predator was terrible. Not great. Alien versus Predator Requiem, the sequel, was still terrible, but they got the Predator right.
Have I seen that one?
Probably not.
No, I don't think I have.
But he said also that, like James Bond, they after Predator 2, the Predator started just having gadgets for everything.
I know.
So it became like this James Bond type thing. He says that just kind of takes away from the Predator, the character.
When are they gonna make a film about a trans predator? What would that look like?
I don't know. Just have a...
John, your next mission. Can you please draw us a trans predator? Make of that what you will.
It's already got a pussy on its face. You just have a dick, wouldn't it? I'm not giving you ideas, Don.
But that is your next mission, should you choose to accept it.
I choose not to accept it and enjoy your Sunday.
It's a Saturday.
I know, by the time he gets this, it'll actually be... Actually, no, it won't be Saturday.
It'll be Monday.
We're recording this on Saturday, John. If you're listening to this on Thursday...
Oh, yeah, 'cause we're ahead.
We're ahead a week. We only do that just to buy me time if I have to run off to London and work like 3 or 4 days on the trot.
Trotting off to London. Anyway, we digress. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No,
Sweet.
nothing at all.
Cool.
But Predator 4 is coming. I'm quite excited.
It's coming.
Shane Black's really good.
Pumping, it's like coming, you know. I'm coming in the gym. I'm coming like when I'm out. I'm coming right now.
Coming in the nanny who looks like a orangutan.
I think my Arnold's getting better.
Who's Marlon?
My Arnold.
Oh.
My Arnold.
It's a passing fancy, but nothing great.
Yes, find us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, all the social media outlets.
And you can find the clip playing with our commentary on repeat at the 2 Minute Terminator YouTube page. Please go there and subscribe. Join YouTube and subscribe. That's where all the shows go first anyway, beforehand, so... God.
It does get rather loud, doesn't
Gets
it?
up and down. Jerry Goldsmith, what are you doing? Thank you for listening. We shall return with episode 31. That'll be minutes 56 to 58, I think.
It is. Thank God you've got the little thing on the screen there. Yes, but thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back.
And again, leave a review on iTunes. 5-star review. Work it out, John Nichols. You can do all these drawings. Join iTunes. Go on, do it.
Oh, and also... something I would like to say as well in retort to Spaldner's letter a little while ago, where he was saying how we're trying to like cause a rift between him and John. I wonder who would win in a fight, John Nichols or James Spaldner?
Because Spaldner
has guns.
He's either a school shooter or an ex-Navy SEAL. I'd probably put money on him. Unless John Nichols was in a car.
What are you bringing to the table, boys?
No, you're trying to incite a right.
No, I'm just genuinely thinking like that would be quite. I'm just wondering who would win. What are your strengths? What are you bringing to the table? Do you think you could win? Who would win the fight, basically? Maybe draw that.
Yeah, but we don't know
Like
what Spawner
Celebrity
looks like as
Deathmatch.
well. He keeps that mystique
He is
about him.
Predator.
He is Predator.
He is Predator. Anyway, thank you so much. Hasta la vista.
Baby. Oh, we nearly made 30 minutes as well. That sucks.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my team.
Shut the fuck up, would you? Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
And I ain't walking on this set if you're still hired.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
I'm fucking serious.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my team. What don't you fucking understand? 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 Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.